There is a new book that says women are ruining their relationships by mothering their partners too much. They're acting a little bit like this.
All right, I'm already matched that. We got a 9 up. 9 up, guys. 9 up, 9 up.
Blow. Nobody likes a Mr. Sniffles.
I hate Mr. Sniffles.
Come on, Stubby. Good. Oh, right. Healthy boy.
Good.
Healthy.
She's just being helpful.
That never happens.
The authors of the book say that intimacy fails because men feel emasculated.
Delvin Yasser, Deb Thomas are here this morning. Guys, what do you think about this?
Well, I think that one was a little bit exaggerated,
Too
obviously.
much.
But I understand what the author is trying to say here, and that is it's about women assuming responsibility and taking control, and, you know, she who must be obeyed. And the idea is that women feel like they're always being responsible, so they feel like they're the mothers or the headmistresses of the family. The men kind of fall into line, and you can understand the dynamic really does shift from what it was when you first got married. It's almost two equals. Now, whether that's assumed by the woman and everybody's just sort of imagining it, the results sort of speak for themselves. There's a lot of couples that are saying that they haven't had sex, that they haven't sort of had a relationship, a male-female relationship for a while, and it very much is someone as a kind of, I don't know, as a mother and not a child, but just as someone with responsibility and someone without responsibility.
So where do you draw the line? Is it sort of picking up after him his socks? I mean, what is okay then to mother your partner or your husband?
Well, I think in the beginning you really do have to set your boundaries and what your expectations are. And you have to say, you know, I'm not going to put up with your crap. I will do this part. You know, until the end of days you will be doing laundry and taking out the trash. And also, instead of mothering him, the great thing about technology is now you can actually set little reminders in his phone and, you know, Outlook, so you're not the one mothering him.
But you're saying that mothering is about doing the housework, really. That's what they're saying here, that mothering is you're doing all of the housework, he's not doing very much, he's sitting around being a slob.
Well,
and
no, that's not true. I know some guys out there, they're actually, the wives will run the accounts, they give them something, like they give them a wage every week so they don't have to think about anything.
And that's what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying, the responsibility thing. And sometimes I think women do take on the majority of the responsibilities, and therefore they do feel like they're in charge, and they look down on their husband because he's not pulling his weight. And then you get the sort of the shift is such that the dynamic
changes. But the guys are letting them do
angry.
that, don't you think?
Yeah, and the women are resenting it, and because of that resentment, they're behaving in a certain way towards that man. They lose their kind of love, desire, whatever you want to say for that guy, because it's like, oh God, I've got the kids to look after, and I've got him to look after as well.
But we also get ourselves into that situation, don't you think, because men can never do it right. You end up ironing their shirts because they always end up creased. That type of thing?
Yeah, do you know, I think in the beginning, when you first start dating someone, you are dating their very best version. They do all the things you want them to do until they trap you into the relationship, and then it's too late.
No, men don't trap. Men don't trap. Men just lose control. And like you said,
I think you said control go.
I think you said last week that men are like dogs, and so after a while we get.
You said that.
Yeah, well that's true. But then men are, and so we just after a while we just get into habits and forget that we have to pull our own weight and man up in a relationship.
And sometimes as a result of that, men don't look after themselves. I mean, how many times do you see the fat slob guy who makes no attempt to look good, criticising his wife for putting on a couple of kilos?
Absolutely.
And I'm seeing this in a lot of relationships, you know, some of our friends, where you can see that the woman's still keeping it up and the guy's kind of really letting it fall to bits. And again, it's like, oh God, now I've got to kind of get him to shave or brush his hair or put on some decent clothes. And I think that what you're saying is right. You bring your best to the relationship and you have to somehow maintain that in order to maintain the relationship.
All right, let's move on. So I've got to get onto this because Seal has had to do a dramatic backflip, speaking about relationships, over claims he made about Heidi Klum cheating on him after being told about intimate shots of the supermodel with the bodyguard. He hid out at first. Have a listen.
I would have thought Heidi would have showed a little bit more class and at least waited until we separated first before deciding to fornicate with the help, as it were.
Naughty Seal. Then Heidi has since come out slamming the allegations, and of course he's backpedaled furiously. So it seemed like when I saw it, I thought, oh, he's gonna pay for that. And you shouldn't really bag your ex in public. Am I right, Dylan?
Absolutely not, especially if you have children, because when you're a parent, you need to be a strong role model for your kids. And what he's done here is he's shown a real weakness of character. So I think initially what he wanted to do was shine a torch on his wife's failings, like, you know, she's not as perfect as everyone
He's emotionally hurt.
Exactly, and that's what we do when we lash out, but he's actually come off looking like the bad guy, and, you know, it snowballs into a he says, she says, and the kids get caught in the middle. That's really unfair.
Unfortunately, he said is on camera, don't you think, Deb? That's the problem with this one.
I think they got him in a moment of weakness.
Yeah,
you know, they've sort of door-stopped him and he said something, but you shouldn't sort of slam your ex in any circumstances, whether you're a celebrity or not. I mean, you see, again, families where one partner is slamming the ex to the kids, and you see the results of that as well. I think you've got to kind of try and stay mum, as hard as it is, and really just try and get on with making the best of a bad situation.
Look, I think it's okay if you're with your girlfriends and you've got a couple of bottles of Sauvignon Blanc under your belt. That's about it.
What about with
absolute
not with a camera on you as well?
No, that's right. No. Keep off Facebook.
And not with publicists.
No, that's exactly right. And finally, a man in the UK has won $80,000 on a TV game show, and he spent it in record time to avoid letting his estranged wife have a cent of it. Would you have done the same, ladies?
I love this story, and yes, absolutely. Because, okay, the backstory is, you know, his wife left him for a truck driver. He's living at his parents' house. He's sleeping on the floor. He wins this money. Now, he could have been completely irresponsible and spent it on crack and hookers. He didn't. He
bought a Jaguar.
Because that's everybody's...
Second-hand Jaguar.
That is everybody on Hot Seat that goes on with it is like, yeah, mate, crack and hookers on this one, buddy.
I think it's, you know, I can understand you wanting to do that. I think he should have given a little bit to his child. He has got a child.
He did. He bought toys and clothes.
Toys. He bought him a couple of toys. There you go. Have a transformer.
He had with his credit cards, with his ex-wife.
Whatever happened, I mean, yes, I agree that the ex-wife cheated on him and he's been sleeping on his parents' floor, but the whole point and contract of marriage is for richer, for poorer.
But she'd left him. They were no longer together.
Well, they were still going through the process of divorce. That's the problem. The
contract is still in the courts.
It's still in the courts, exactly. So, unfortunately for him, he loses heart.
Let us know what you think. Go onto our Facebook page, click like. I want to know, do you think that this bloke did the right thing or the wrong thing? Are you on his side or on the wife's side? I'd like to see the results of that. Ladies, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you. All right, well, coming up, Brian McFadden walks down the aisle with Vogue Williams. We've got all the details on their Italian wedding. Also ahead, Sapphire's